Siandi Lily ameomoka leo. You should know viewers where I'm shooting from. Lake Naivasha Resort. Sio ni kuomoka. I'm also more confident today. And thank you very much viewers. Those of you have subscribed for our yesterday's video on how soon is too soon to move on after divorce. Now today we have another very interesting topic. We are going to talk about why a mother should be denied custody of her children or of her child who is below 18 by a court of law. Welcome. Again, family, we are going to learn from my mistakes and mistakes of those that I know. So, it's not about gossip, it's not about rumors, it's not about imaginations, it's all about real life experience. I have this scenario that I'm going to present to you, and for purposes on confidentiality, I'm going to call the girl Rose. Rose comes home in the morning and she starts fighting with her husband, and they have a 2-year-old daughter. Nobody knows who started the war, nobody knows who provoked the other one, but what I know, there was war, there was fight in the house. And imagine if a woman is fighting with a man, all of them must have fought each other. The man must have hit the woman, and the woman must have hit the man. And then there was a lot of destruction of property in the house. Then I want you to note where Rose went wrong. The husband, Rose's husband, goes straight out to the police and gets an OB. And then he gets a P3 because he has been hurt. What does Rose do? She doesn't take any initiative. She just walks out of the house, and she doesn't report the issue to the police until 3 months after. Rose has gone to the police with the photos. Her head is swollen 3 times, but that was 3 months ago. So my question is the court going to be convinced that those photos, that injury, was due to the fight? Anyway, what I'm trying to say, Rose did not report her case to the police on time. She didn't get an OB, she didn't get a P3. And Kenyans, viewers, let me tell you something. An OB and a P3 are not documents you obtain from River Road, that you only obtain properly through a process, because they can be presented in a court of law. So what happens after some time? Rose has been kicked out of the house, or she walks out of the house, and she leaves her 2-year-old baby girl in the house. And now she decides to go and demand for custody of her daughter. She wants to be allowed to pick that daughter. She wants the court to grant her custody of that daughter. There is this common myth, viewers, I've heard from even graduates, PhD holders, master's degree holders, that as long as the child is below 18, sinitapewa tu, I'll be given the child because I am the mother. Forget about it, viewers. Forget about it. You can be denied that child even when it is 1 day old. I'm talking of a baby girl here, 2 years old, being given to the father. Now, as I speak now, I'll not mention names. That's why I'm calling the girl Rose for confidentiality. So, then go to court because Rose has sued for custody of that child. And when they go to court, what evidence does she have? Nothing. Just photos showing her swollen head. What evidence does the husband have? He has an OB and he has a P3. Who is going to be more listened to by the court? The person with the tangible evidence. For sure, logic has it that maybe they hit each other. But who has tangible documents? Who has evidence showing that he was hit? It is the husband. He has a P3, he has an OB. Rose is going to court without anything. So the OB showing that there was injury, showing that there was malicious damage to property, this time by Rose, is enough evidence that Rose is violent. So if the husband convinces the court that Rose is violent, should not be given that child, even if it is 2 weeks old, even if it's a baby girl, you will not be given that child. If the court proves that you are neglected your family, you will not be given that. If the court proves that you are not sober, because if you came to the house and you brought property, you brought fightings to the house, then that shows you are very emotionally unstable. You will not be given that custody to that child. I'm not saying that Rose was guilty. I'm not saying that Rose did not do the right thing. But the only place I want to blame Rose, she did not go for an OB, she did not get a P3, she did not get also her evidence to counteract the evidence presented to court by her husband. So as the judgment starts, as the court process starts, you see here, we are not starting the case from a mindung ground. It's not from a mindung ground, it's not a balanced ground. The husband for sure has an upper hand. Why? Because he did what he was supposed to do on time. He reported to the police, he got an OB, and he got a P3. So, Rose waits for 3 months. She's a bit too late. So, another thing I've learned from this case, although it is ongoing, I don't want to mention names, I don't want to comment, I don't want to prejudice the case, is that when the court was determining who will have that custody, they also considered that the father to the child, who has permanent residence in the city where they live, was more appropriate to keep the baby, because the mother can be coming to visit. The court decided because the mother is on a rental house, she may move, she may change residence, and the father will not be able to visit that child. So at the moment, the what I may call the temporary judgment is that the husband keeps the baby and the Rose is allowed free visitation to the child. What am I saying? What am I saying that is the court judges, the court makes rulings to the interest of that child, even if it is 1 day old. They will not give it to a violent mother. They will not give it to a mother that is presumed to be irresponsible. They will not give it to a mother who is presumed to be mentally unstable by all chances. And they will also give it to a parent who, once he keeps or she keeps that child, the other parent can access that child. And that's why permanent residence is coming in. The father has a house in the city where they live, so he's not going to move because that is his home. Rose has rented a house. So most likely, it's better, according to the court, for Rose to keep that child, for the husband to keep that child, and Rose to be allowed visitation. So what I'm saying, viewers, the myth that a child will be automatically be given to the father is wrong. When I personally divorced, my husband applied for child custody, but because my kids were 13, at least 13 years old, they were called to court and they were able to decide who they want to stay with. They were able to. So even at 13 years old, a child can be summoned by the court to decide where they feel they are more comfortable. And should they have said that they wanted to go with the father, then the court would have granted that desire. My children decided to go with me, and the father was given visitation rights. Of course, by all means, I was very poor at that time when I was being given the custody of my children. And the one thing my husband had said is that I'm poor, I lower the standards of the children. But according to the court, what standards are there when you are hitting the mother of the children in their presence? When you are assaulting her, abusing her? It is Kosovo. In that house, the court will not give children custody to a violent parent. Thank you, viewers. Let us meet in our next video. And for those of you who subscribed to our yesterday's video, thank you very much. Bye-bye.